Hi, it's Dr. Parikh, and before you go into your article search, I wanted to talk a little bit about what you're doing for articles. The video that I made is from a few years ago, and I ran the class slightly different than I do now, so I wanted to clarify exactly how many articles you need and when you need them. Everything else in that video is still accurate as far as I know, so I don't want to redo an entire video and potentially have worse information. So, fun fact, you can find any assignment specific to the literature review paper by clicking literature review, which is what I'm doing. And some of the early articles that you're submitting are early assignments you're submitting are your articles. I used to have all three of them of the first batch together, but it makes it harder when some of them work and some of them don't. Excuse me, and I really want to make it clear which ones are approved and which ones you still need to replace. So I'm having you do 3 different submissions. So one article goes into each one. I have the full information of how do you get to your PDF, how do you rename it. One thing that's really important is that you have this .pdf at the end, because if you don't have .pdf, Blackboard doesn't know what to do with it. It's important that you always check to make sure that Blackboard actually processes your file and shows it correctly. Because if I can't see it, I can't grade it. And especially if you're in an accelerated online class, the timeline just doesn't allow for you typically. There's usually not enough time for me to grade it, see that I can't open it, give you a 0, and then also get your resubmission. This is one of the few assignments that I do typically take until you get it right because it's so foundational to the class. But for example, article notes, those, if it's past the due date and I can't read them, you just get a 0. So it's important to learn how to do files correctly here and now. I want to see files named so that it's easy for me to find them because you're going to upload these again and again. So for example, article notes, I want to have your whole file attached because Blackboard doesn't make any easy way for me to go to all the files you've attached in the past. Each assignment is its own world and I have to go through a lot of different screens to get to anything else. So typically if I don't have everything I need and I have a question, I'm just going to dock points because as I'm grading, there's not a lot. It's just incredibly difficult for me to do anything else if you don't have all the files there. So it makes it easy for me to see which file I need. So for example, if you've got an outline and you've got 4 or actually 6 now different articles, I don't want to have to click through 6 different files. And so you want to make it very clear because in your paper, I'm going to see the author's name and the year as part of your citation. So that's what I want to see in your article file name. So you're going to upload 3 different articles now. They all need to be empirical, peer-reviewed, and I'll talk about what that means in the next video. Later on, you're going to upload, so you're going to read those articles, and then you're going to upload 3 more articles, so 3 different ones. These can be empirical, but they don't have to be. If there's a scholarly book you really want to use, you can include a description and a link, and I'll consider it, but those are very much approved on a case-by-case basis. There's a lot of things I consider when I'm looking at scholarly books or determining whether a book is scholarly. I try to look at these fairly often so that I can tell you as quickly as possible if one of them isn't going to work. Because it really sets things back if it takes us a long time to get articles that work. So I will leave everything else for the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.